So, today, magandang araw sa bawat isa. So, ito yung ating maging video lecture for Newton's Laws of Motion na ating fourth topic for this prelims, no? So, last time ay diniscuss natin all about kinematics. Kinematics ay doon natin didiscuss yung mga bagay, or that is the study of motion without concerning about the cause of the motion. So today we'll discuss about dynamics naman. Dynamics is the study of motion and its causes. And bago tayo tumungo doon ay meron tayong ilang terminologies na i-discuss. So first we have gravitational force or weight. So ang gravitational force or weight is the force exerted on a mass by the force of gravity on the earth, no? So experience natin ang gravitational force as always, no, kapag tayo tumatalon or as of the moment, no, na tayo ay walang ginagawa, no? Kapag tayo ay nakatayo, nakaupo, or any movement, no, na ating ginagawa, we are always experiencing the gravitational force of the earth. So the gravitational force of the earth is always downward, no? So laging pababa. Kaya nga kahit na anong object na naihagis natin pataas, it will always go down because of the gravitational force, or tinatawag nga natin na weight ng isang object. So when we say weight, no, iba yung weight sa mass, kasi pag sinabi nating mass, that is the amount of matter that is in the object, while weight is the force of gravity, no, exerted by an object to another object. For example, the earth exerts gravitational force on us, and also we are also exerting gravitational force on Earth. Basta mayroong mass ng isang object, it exerts gravitational force. And we have next is molecular force. Molecular forces ay pwedeng elastic force. So elastic force, that's force exerted on elastic materials. Any material can be elastic, no? Pag sinabi kasi nating elastic, it has the tendency or the ability to go back to its original shape after being bent or after being stretched. So yun yung elasticity. And when you say elasticity, it can be compressive or tensile force. Compressive force or tensile force, or compressive stress and tensile stress. When you say compressive, it means it has the ability to shorten, no? Or to make something smaller. To compress, meaning compress is pipitin, no? To shorten something. Example is application of force on a paper cup. So to crumple it, ganyan, no? Then we also have tensile stress, that is tense. Kapag hinihila mo naman, for example, yung rubber band, so that is tensile stress or tensile force. Then we also have another force, which is tension. And tension naman is a force that the spring ropes or cables exerts on an object. For example, sa tug of war, no, na inihila, no, yung tali. So that means merong tension, no, dun sa tali. That is the tensile or the tension force. And kapag naman ang isang object ay nakasabit, no, with the use of a rope or a string, no, so meron ding nag-exert din ng force, no, yung object na yon, and that force is counteracted by the tension on the string. So meron din tayong tinatawag na contact force. Siyempre kapag contact force, ibig sabihin ay ito yung mga forces that objects experience when they are in contact with one another. For example, you have the normal force. The normal force is force perpendicular to a surface of contact. For example, kapag merong libro or cellphone sa ibabaw ng table, no, yung cellphone ay nag-exert ng weight, yung kanyang gravitational force ina-exert niya dun sa table, while the table exerts normal force on the cellphone para hindi mahulog, no, yung cellphone. Kumbaga nakapatong yung cellphone na nag-exert ng force pababa, no, dun sa table, while the table exerts an upward force, no, dun sa cellphone. And tinatawag natin siyang normal force. And it is always perpendicular to the surface of contact. Meaning it's always forms 90 degrees, no, with the surface of an object. And aside from normal force, isa pang type ng contact force is frictional force. So when you say frictional force, that is the force tangent to the surface of contact, or it is always in opposition, no, with the direction of the motion, no, or the surface of contact of an object. So yun yung sinasabi nating friction. So there is always friction when two objects are in contact, now, with one another. That is tangential to the surface of contact, or frictional force opposes, no, the motion, or opposes the force of an object. And we also have net force. Pag sinabi natin net force, that is the sum or the vector sum of all forces acting on an object. That is the net force. So, punta na tayo sa three laws of motion ni Isaac Newton. So, Isaac Newton is an English professor. He's an English scientist, no? And he was the one who discovered calculus. And famous siya sa kanyang three laws of motion, and also yun sa kanyang law of universal law of gravitation. So, discuss natin ngayon ang three laws of motion. Unang law ay Newton's first law of motion, which we call law of inertia. So when you say inertia, no, pag sinabi natin inertia is the ability or the tendency of an object or a body to resist its change, or resist the change in its motion, no? So for example, pag sinabi natin inertia, no, example lang, isang object ay umaandar or gumagalaw, no? Yung inertia ng object na yon ay ang tendency or the ability of that object na i-resist yung pagpigil sa kanyang paggalaw, or kapag siya naman ay nakahinto, no, to resist para i-resist yung paggalaw, no, ng isang object na nakahinto, no? So yun yung sinasabi nating inertia. Inertia is the ability of an object to resist the change in its motion. So when an object is at rest, so meron siyang inertia, no, na kayang pigilin yung pag-change ng kanyang motion or ng kanyang paggalaw. And also, ang isang bagay na gumagalaw, meron ding inertia. That is the tendency of that object to resist the change that will stop its motion or that will change its direction. So, pag sinabi nating law of inertia, no, so, by the way, ang inertia nga pala is dependent on mass. So, the more massive an object is, the greater is its inertia, no? So, for example, no, kapag umaandar ang isang truck, syempre, mas mahirap pigilan ang isang truck na punong-puno ng laman, no, kaysa sa bisikleta. Syempre, mas kailangan mo ng mas maraming force para mapatigil ang isang truck kaysa sa isang bisikleta. Bakit? Kasi mas mabigat naman yung truck kung ikukumpara sa bisikleta. So, mas malaki yung mass ng isang object, mas mataas yung kanyang inertia or the ability of that object to resist changes in motion. And also, syempre, ano bang mas mahirap paandarin sa dalawa? Syempre, yung truck. Or mas mahirap itulak na lang, for example. So, kapag itutulak natin, syempre, mas mahirap itulak ang truck. Bakit? Kasi mas mabigat. So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung kanyang tendency or ability to resist its change in motion, or tinatawag nga natin na inertia. Mas mataas ang mass ng isang object, mas mataas ang inertia. Mas mababa naman ang mass ng object, mas mababa din ang kanyang inertia. Muna tayo sa law of inertia. When we say law of inertia, it states that a body will remain at rest when it is at rest, and the body will continue in motion when it is in motion unless, no, an external force acts on it. So a body will remain at rest, the body at rest will remain at rest, and a body in motion will remain in motion unless an external force acts upon it. So for example, kapag sinasabi lang ng law of inertia na ang isang bagay na nakahinto ay patuloy na hindi gagalaw, or ang isang bagay na gumagalaw ay patuloy na gagalaw unless mayroong force na magpipigil sa paggalaw, or mayroong force na magpapagalaw sa isang object, no? So if a body is at rest, no, it will remain at rest. So, for example, ang isang building, syempre kapag at rest, hindi yan gagalaw. Refrigerator, wall, picture frame, or laptop on top of the table, it will not move, no, unless an external force will act upon it. Body in motion, for example, ang isang bolang gumugulong, and ang pag-ikot ng mga planeta sa araw, patuloy yan na gagalaw sila unless there is an external force that will act upon the objects. Inertia is the ability of body to resist any change in the state of motion of that object. No? So unless nga na mayroong external force, no, na magpagalaw or magpahinto sa isang object, saka lang siya magbabago ng kanyang state of motion. But if there is no external force that will act on an object at rest will remain at rest, and an object in motion will remain in motion. So yun na yung sinasabi ng law of inertia. And second law naman tayo, Newton's second law of motion, that is called law of acceleration. So when I say law of acceleration states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the force applied to the object and inversely proportional to the mass of that object. So whenever an unbalanced force acts upon a body, an acceleration is produced which is directly proportional to the mass, an acceleration is produced which is directly proportional to the mass of the body. So, ibig sabihin nun na kapag ang acceleration ng isang object ay nakadepende sa dalawang bagay. So, the force exerted on the object and its mass. No? Siyempre, pag mas malakas or mas mataas yung force, no, na exerted on an object, it means greater acceleration for the object. No? Siyempre, kapag mas malakas yung pagtulak or paghila sa isang object, mas mabilis ang kanyang paggalaw. While acceleration is inversely proportional to mass naman. What does that mean? Ibig sabihin nun, acceleration ng object ay nakadepende din sa mass or sa bigat, no, ng isang object. Siyempre, mas mabigat ang isang object, mas mababa ang kanyang acceleration. O mas magaan ang isang object, mas mabilis ang kanyang acceleration. So, yung force is, ang unit ng force is newtons, ang mass ay kilograms, then ang acceleration is meters per second squared. So, sinasabi lang Newton's second law of motion, acceleration is directly proportional to force applied to the object and inversely proportional to its mass. And related formulas, no? I-relate natin yung mga formula natin for example, yung mga last time, no, na mga formula natin na diniscuss natin sa uniform accelerated motion. So doon ay merong acceleration. So since dito din ay gumagamit tayo ng we are concerned about acceleration, pwede nating i-combine or i-relate, no, yung second law of motion sa uniform accelerated motion using the formulas we have learned last time. So, for example, meron example dito, no? A mass of 100 grams is acted upon by a net force of 5 dynes. Find its acceleration. Okay, so sabi ng problem, a mass of 100 grams is acted upon by a net force 5 dynes. Find the acceleration. So, gawin natin ito dito sa ating board. So, given muna natin, meron tayong mass is equal to 100 grams. And we have a net force, or force, which is equal to 5 dynes. So, ang hinahanap natin, our unknown will be acceleration. So, meron tayong formula for acceleration. Acceleration is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to mass. Ayan yung Newton's second law of motion. No? So, yung Newton's second law of motion, pwede mong i-describe as a formula and pwede rin naman word by word. No? Acceleration is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to mass. So, i-substitute na natin yung mga given values. So, that will be acceleration is equal to force, which is 5 dynes, or 5 grams, no, per 5 grams centimeters per second squared. 5 grams centimeters per second squared divided by 100 grams. So, 5 divided by 100 grams, ang magiging sagot dyan, acceleration is equal to 0.05 centimeters per second squared. Yan yung kanyang acceleration. Next problem tayo. Find the force needed to move a fruit wooden plate whose mass is 250 kilograms with an acceleration of 1.35 meters per second squared. Bago natin ituloy yan, so gawa muna tayo ng triangle. No? So minsan, merong mga formulas na mas madaling tandaan kapag ginagamitan natin ang triangle. No? Sa taas ay force, tapos mass times acceleration. No? So gamitin natin yung triangle na yan para ma-determine yung formula for force. Para tayo sa given, we have mass which is equal to 250 kilograms, and we have the acceleration of the cart which is 1.35 meters per second. So gagawin natin ay hanapin natin what's our unknown to find the force given. Force is our unknown. Equation na gagamitin natin will be minsan kasi mas madaling gamitin yung triangle, no? So, to find for the force, you just tatakpan nyo lang yung F, then magkakaroon na kayong formula for the force, no? To find for acceleration, force divided by mass. Or to find for the mass, force divided by acceleration, no? Force is equal to mass multiplied by the acceleration of the object. So, you substitute the values given. That will be force is equal to mass 250 kilograms multiplied by acceleration 1.35 meters per second squared. So, magkakaroon niya ng unit na kilogram meter per second squared or newtons. That will equal 250 multiplied by 1.35 meters per second squared. That will be equal to, force is 337.5 kilogram meter per second squared. So, yan yung ating sagot. So, we have a problem here. 15.0 gram bullet is fired from a rifle. It takes 2.50 times 10 to the negative 3 seconds for the bullet to travel the length of the barrel with a speed of 750 meters per second. So, assuming that the acceleration of the bullet is constant, find the force exerted on the bullet. So, meron daw bala na 15.0 grams and it took 2.50 times 10 to the negative 3 seconds para yung bullet or yung bala ay makalabas na ng barrel with a speed of 750 meters per second. So, if the acceleration is constant, we will find the force exerted on the bullet. Okay? So, unahin natin ang mga given. First, let's write what are the given. So, we have 15.0 grams. That will be the mass. 15.0 grams. Since yung ibang mga units natin ay in meters, so, ang gawin natin dito, gawin natin siyang kilograms, no? Para hindi na mahirap para sa atin. So, in converting grams to kilograms, you just need to divide the grams by 1,000. So, ang 15 grams will be equal to 0.015. Tama, 0.015 kilograms. No? Convert na natin para hindi tayo mahirapan mamaya. So, you have the time, which is 2.50 times 10 raised to negative 3 seconds. And we also have speed. Final velocity yan. Initial velocity, syempre, the bullet is at rest first, no? then its final velocity will be equal to 750 meters per second as it exits the barrel. Initial velocity mo will be 0 meters per second. So you will, ang ating hanapin, our unknown will be the force exerted on the bullet. But first, we should, to find the force, equation na gagawin natin, force is equal to mass times acceleration. But to find for acceleration, kailangan natin ay velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So let's substitute for the given values. Unahin muna natin acceleration kasi gagamitan natin acceleration to find or to solve for the force. So acceleration is equal to final velocity, which is 750 meters per second minus 0 meters per second divided by time, which is 2.50 times 10 raised to negative 3 seconds. So ang ating acceleration will be equal to 750 divided by 2.5 times 10 raised to negative 3. That will be 300,000 meters per second squared. So 3 times 10 raised to the power of 5. 3 times 10 to the 5th meters per second squared. Yan ang acceleration ng bullet. 300,000 meters per second squared ang acceleration ng ating bullet. Then, to solve for the force, just need to multiply the mass of the bullet, which is 0.015 kilograms, multiplied by 3 times 10 raised to the 5th power meters per second squared. So our answer for the force exerted on the bullet is 0.015 times 3 times 10 to the 5th. That will be equal to 4,500 newtons or 4,500 kilograms meter per second squared. So acceleration ng bullet natin or acceleration exerted on the bullet is 4,500 newtons. For it to have final velocity na 750 meters per second. Doon naman tayo sa Newton's third law of motion. Third law of motion is called law of interaction. Sinasabi lang ng Newton's third law that for every action, there is always an equal but opposite reaction. For every action force, there is equal and opposite reaction force. So, ibig sabihin nito or implication nito that forces always come in pairs. So, laging pares ang mga forces. But, they are always equal but in opposite direction. For example, kapag nagsasagwan ang isang tao sa bangka, pagsagwan or yung force exerted ng person na nasa bangka dun sa sagwan is going to or backward, kasi nagsasagwan siya papunta sa likod while the boat moves forward. So there are two forces there. And those forces are equal but they act on opposite direction. Example din, kapag ang isang bagay ay nakapatong sa table. So, yung object na nasa ibabaw ng table, it exerts gravitational force on the table while the table exerts normal force on the object. So, for example, kapag merong bagay na nakasabit sa nakasabit sa kisame from gamit ang tali, So, ang object ay nag-exert ng gravitational force dun sa string, so it is directed downward, but the string's reaction is called tension. So, meron tension sa string that exerts an upward force. So, Newton's third law states that for every action force, there is always an equal but opposite reaction force. So, ano ang pagkakaiba ng mass at weight? So, pag sinabi nating mass, that is the quantity of matter or the amount of matter in an object, and it is the same anywhere, no? Kahit saan, kahit nasa outer space pa or nasa ibang planeta ang isang object, the mass remains constant, while weight is the amount of gravitational force that is exerted on a body or on an object. So weight is the force of attraction of the Earth or any other planetary object or any body, no, on another object. It varies depending on the gravitational force of the object. No? Mas malaki or mas massive ang isang object, mas mataas yung kanyang gravitational force of attraction. Siyempre, mas maliit ang isang object, mas mababa ang kanyang gravitational force of attraction. So, ang weight ay dependent, siyempre, sa mass ng isang object. Siyempre, mas mataas ang mass ng isang object, mas mataas din ang kanyang weight. But since weight is dependent on gravitational force or acceleration due to gravity also, so nakadepende pa rin sa acceleration due to gravity kung magiging malaki or maliit ang weight ng isang object. So, mayroong formula for weight. Weight is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. And we have discussed this last time, no? Yung acceleration due to gravity ng object is constant on Earth. Is always equal to 9.8 meters per second squared or 980 centimeters per second squared or 32 feet per second squared. While the mass of an object is constant, no? Kahit saan naman na pumunta ang kahit saan mapunta ang isang object, its mass remains constant. So weight, or to find for the weight of an object, we just need to multiply its mass multiplied by the gravitational acceleration or acceleration due to gravity of an object. So for example, the mass of a hammer on Earth is 25 kilograms. To find its weight on Earth, so you just need to multiply its mass, which is 25 kilograms multiplied by 9.8 meters per second squared. So magiging sagot mo dyan ay 245 newtons, no? So ang unit ng weight ay newtons. So 245 newtons kasi ang weight is gravitational force. Parehas lang naman yung weight tsaka yung gravitational force, especially with Earth. So if in Mars, the mass of the object is 25 kilograms, no? Yung hammer. And in Mars, the acceleration due to gravity is 3.2 meters per second squared. So the weight of the object will be 80 newtons, no, sa Mars.